Alright, winter break is here, so the journey begins again. After I get through TSA. Well, that's finally done with after 20 agonizing minutes. But as always, TSA has determined that I'm not a threat, just a freak. But at least the airport shop apparently now sells airheads. But we got about an hour before we leave, or rather I leave, since it's just me. And for those of you who tried to be part of the live stream earlier today, I do apologize. I found out what was wrong. Apparently OBS is automatically set to just try to broadcast at all the maximum ultra high definition standards or whatever. So obviously I don't need it on those ridiculously high settings. So I went in and dialed all those down to just basically a regular 720. And if that still gives problems, I'll try dialing it down to like 480p or something. So hopefully that should work out better next time. But I will resume this in Seattle. And here's my ugly face again. Well, I'm in Seattle, and they're actually making an effort. You can see around me, there's actual colors now, somewhat, instead of, just gray and black and gray and black, and, there's more now than just what there used to be, which was just walls and seats, and more walls and more seats. They're even putting, random stuff in here. Kind of like Atlanta and Minneapolis have, just a whole bunch of random stuff for you to look at all the time. So, Seattle's actually made even more improvements, apparently. They are selling German chocolate like they always did. However, from the fact that I'm actually holding one, you can thus deduce the fact that they are now finally selling, actual just regular milk chocolate, as opposed to, all the new weird nastiness that they've been trying to push, like hazelnut chocolate and strawberry coconut mocha flavored chocolate bars. It's hard enough trying to satisfy a craving for a chocolate that costs $4, $5, $6 a bar, without, the company trying to replace the regular chocolate with all this, let's stuff it and flavor it with vegetables to make it health chocolate nonsense. But that rant aside, they are selling regular milk chocolate, and I managed to stumble across a screen that doesn't have 50 billion people in front of it, so I can actually see. And I'm going to gate B7, apparently. Look at all this stuff in here. Look. They have really changed this place up. If I didn't know I was in Seattle, I would almost be convinced that I was in Minneapolis. This certainly doesn't feel like Seattle. Ooh. Man, look, they even have restaurants other than Starbucks now. Seattle's actually starting to try. So, apparently, one of their less brilliant ideas for trying to make the place slightly more interesting was to cover the floor with golden fish. Golden fish. Alright, for the first time ever, I'm actually in Detroit. And you can tell that it's owned by Delta because it has the same setup as Atlanta and Minneapolis, with all the stations with just free computers and free tablets and everything to use. So, as I was saying while I was in Seattle, Seattle has improved. They've actually put some effort in. They've improved a lot. Granted, they're still not as nice of a place to be in as Atlanta or Minneapolis, or apparently Detroit. At least Detroit's airport. I'm never going outside of the airport. But I managed to get a lot of really nice photography in Seattle, because I was in a terminal that ran north to south, and so we had the sunrise on one side and the reflection of the sunrise on the plains and the mountains in the background on the other. So I got a whole lot of stunning photography. Hopefully, at least I'll have to review it later. So one more flight to go till I'm down at my parents' place in Charleston. That flight doesn't leave for another 3 hours, so I'm going to go wander around Detroit's airport, see what it's like. Maybe take some pictures. Definitely film some portions of the walk around. At least when I'm passing by, when I'm passing by at least slightly interesting stuff. Looks like they've gone with the Frankfurt, Germany formula in literally just having the entire airport just be one single, 3-mile long building. Or at least it appears it, looking down this thing. We'll find out how long it actually is. Yeah. Look at that there. Lovely, beautiful Delta A330. Well, we came all this way, and as you just saw, we have now finally reached, not just yet, we're a couple hundred feet from what you could call the middle of the whole thing. Because, again, just like Frankfurt, it literally is just one long, endless, never-ending building.
Our plane will be landing on BTW Seoul in 24 minutes.
Detroit, you just scored a whole lot of points with me. Yeah. Not even kidding. Even the inside tram between the concourses, Delta literally owns the airport. Down into the darkness. Man, yet another lovely Delta A330. This is some trippy nonsense. Welcome to Never Never Land, everybody. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. Got our snow-covered CRJ out there. That's not the one I'm going to be getting on. That's that is the gate that I'm heading out through. This just isn't my aircraft. My aircraft will be coming in right after this one pulls away, which, since they just finished fueling it up, will be any second now. So, discovered some other things. Detroit definitely gets a lot of points for numerous things. However, they have lost some because they make next to no attempt, from what I've seen, to clean their bathrooms at all. So Detroit, you need to put some effort into that. And the Wi-Fi here, it's just as bad as Seattle. Okay, actually no. I can maintain a connection for about 3 minutes here. Seattle, the most you'd ever get is like 30 seconds. As opposed to, say, Minneapolis or Atlanta, or even my own tiny little, airport up in Fairbanks, where the internet connection is, like real and doesn't kick you out every, so often or whatever. But Detroit is a nice airport to come through, especially in the winter, since, like us up in Alaska, they actually know what they're doing and don't shut themselves down because of the snow. And so it's actually a pretty peaceful night to just sort of chill here, look out the windows, and watch the snow falling down. Unfortunately, didn't get to do too much aircraft photography here, since it was basically, we were a little bit late, so it was basically night by the time I got here. So all I'd be really taking pictures of is reflections in the windows of stuff here inside the building. Got a row all to myself. That's great. All right, and we're back on the East Coast for a month. In Charleston Airport. Granted, it's definitely not on par with several of the others, especially since all that there really is around are just nothing but a bunch of booze advertisements. But it's the South, so